Welcome back to a screencast that reviews the syllabus for young adult literature with Dr. Lassane for the spring 2016 semester. How did you feel about that, fast forwarding 3 years? I want to review with you the other required books for this course. We've talked about the 11 that everybody will read, and this next section is where you get to have some choice in terms of selecting books. So you'll see that the next several books from book number 12 to book number 18, you're going to select by author. So you will read one book by each of these authors: Chris Crutcher, A.S. King, Andrew Smith, Tom Engelberger, Holly Black, Rebecca Stead, and John Green. Please be sure that when you select these books, you are reading books for young adult readers. Tom Engelberger and Holly Black both write books for slightly younger readers, but they also have books for older readers. For example, Tom Engelberger, feel free to read any of the Origami Yoda books, but not the Quick Wit paper books because they're for slightly younger readers. For Holly Black, she's got lots of books about fairies who live in the real world, and Doll Bones, her Newbery honor book. But don't go back and look at the books that she wrote with the Spiderwick Chronicle books, because those are for a slightly younger audience. If you have doubt about whether or not your book is truly young adult, run it past me first. I'm happy to give you advice. So you will read a book by each of those authors. You have total choice in terms of, as long as it's for young adults, you may read it. Then you're going to read in the final 7 books, books 19 through 25, books from different sources, different lists. So you have a choice of, and you should read from at least 3 different lists that follow: Best Fiction for Young Adults, Quick Picks for Young Adults, the Prince and/or Prince Honor books other than the ones you're already reading for class, so you can't count Monster here. Great graphic novels for teens, again, in addition to the ones that you may be reading for class, New York Times bestseller list, and outstanding books for the college bound. All of these lists are from YALSA, except for the bestseller list, and may be found at that web address. The lists have to be between 2012 and 2015. And please be sure when you're picking that you're not duplicating a book that's already on your reading list. So no double dipping in any way, shape, or form. Please notice there's a little asterisk here at the bottom that says you may listen to any of these books in audio, or you can read them in e-format using Kindle or an e-reader of some kind. That's totally up to you. Please, you will note, I think, in your blog, however, if you listen to this or if you looked at a slightly different format, it's always kind of nice to make that notation. So for these books, you will look at Best Fiction, Quick Picks, Prince, Excellence in Nonfiction for Young Adults, Great Graphic Novels for Teens, Outstanding Books for the College Bound, or New York Times bestseller list. Always, always, always make sure that you're looking at young adult books. That's particularly important if you notice for the New York Times bestseller list. I've marked it as chapter books, and the age range needs to be for 10 up. 10 is the lowest that I would consider something a young adult. It's more like a middle grade there, but we're going to allow some of that. So in addition to the required books that I've already talked about, you're going to read 7 books, one by each of the 7 authors there, and then 7 other books, one from at least 3 different lists. You can certainly read one from all of those lists. That's up to you. But if you, for example, love great graphic novels, then once you've done 3 other lists, you can come back and read more graphic novels. Or if you really want to look at books that would be great for college-bound students because you feel that's an area in which maybe you don't have as much information or knowledge, then you can come back and read more from that. Just understand that I want as wide a range as possible, as diverse a group of books as possible, because even 25 books is just scratching the surface when it comes to young adult literature. Those are the required reading pieces for LSSL 5385. Future screencasts are going to talk about assignments.